أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير آمين يا رب العالمين. We continue to learn varied structures of Murakkab Idafi. Idafa is really important central construction in Arabic, and it literally means addition. We know that idafas are formed by two or more nouns which are placed together in a relationship of possession or belonging, or it could be an attribution as well. It is helpful to conceptualize idafa the way that we sometimes use the word of in English. We say the book of the boy, the city of England, for example. There is no apostrophe s construction in Arabic to indicate possession. And there is no way that we can say the student's book in Arabic. We need to sort of reconstruct it to say the book of the student rather than the student's book. There is no apostrophe s in Arabic. Even though the meaning of the entire phrase is definite, only the last term of the idafa is going to indicate its definiteness by addition of al or a possessive suffix usually. For example, if we want to say the book of the student, which in English we're really saying student's book, so we will say kitabut talibi. Kitabut talibi, the book of the student. And this al here this has been used to make this definite, because this definite and kitab is attributed to this noun by simply that attribution. Kitab is also definite. So if some noun is already definite, we cannot really add al on that noun. For example, the name of the city is London, so we cannot say al-London. We will just say London because it's definite anyway. Other way of saying that is, which we already said, that this is mudaf and it doesn't take al, it does not take tanween either. Whichever way it makes sense to you, that's absolutely fine. And in this case, there is no ejective to confuse us either. For example, if we had ejective or sifa of this or this, we know already that that will be placed here towards the end of the construction. And the i'rab of the sifa, the ejective, will tell us whether it's linked to this noun or that noun. That highlights the value of i'rab. Another point, the things which are definite by suffix are never going to take al either. So for example, if I want to talk about my mother's office, for example, I will write maktabu walidati. We have this possessive suffix here, ya mutakallim, my mother, okay, not anyone else's mother. So because this is definite and this is attributed to this is also definite, so this is not going to take al. And going back, because this has already been made definite and this is linked to that, this is mudaf ilayh. Let's write it that way. Mudaf ilayh. Whose office? Walida's office. So mudaf ilayh. But at the same time, this is mudaf as well. For this, ya mutakallim, mudaf, and this mudaf ilayh. So only the last term of idafa here is definite. Even in this case, it's not made definite by al because it is definite anyway. If this was not a pronoun and some other noun, that was going to take al, but in this case it doesn't. This is definite anyway, this is attributed to this is linked to this, and this is not going to take al, and that's not going to take al either. So I hope that kind of made it clear how it all works. So this little pronoun really has made the whole construction definite, because end of the day all the pronouns we know they are definite. One final way that a noun can be definite is if they are, for example, proper noun. So if we want to talk about let us say the University of London. By the way, there is nothing which is called University of London. There are many universities in London, but there's nothing which is called the University of London. This is for the purpose of explaining a couple of points here. We will say Jami'atu Londana. Jami'atu Londana. That was the point which I was making earlier. If a noun is already definite, we're not going to add al on it. So because this is already definite and this is linked to that, a kind of possessive relationship, this is definite, this is going to be definite anyway, and this is not going to take al either. And the second point, if you remember, this is ism is ghairu munsarif. So we say Landanu, Landana, Landana. We don't say Landanu, Landana, Landani. So although this is kind of, there's a marker of nasab there, but in this construction, because this is mudaf ilayh, this noun here is majroor. It is not mansoob. So Jami'atu Landana. We will not say Jami'atu Landani because this is ghairu munsarif. So that was the important point as far as the mudaf ilayh ghair is a ghair munsarif noun. And also because this is the name of a city, it is definite already, so we're not going to put al on it, and this is linked to that, it's not going to take al either. So this was a kind of revision of what we have already covered. Let us move on to our next topic in idafa called al-asma'ul khamsa. What we are saying is 5 names, 5 nouns. This is a very small group of nouns that show their case endings in formal Arabic as long vowels attached to the end of the word when they are in idafa. Let me explain what I mean by that. Also, when they take most possessive pronoun suffixes, that's what happens. Suffix like ya mutakallim and etc. etc. So these are those 5 nouns. As a reminder, all the alphabets in Arabic, they are consonants except waw, alif and ya. And we have short vowels and long vowels in Arabic. Our short vowels are, for example, we say fatha, kasra and dhamma. They are our short vowels, and our long vowels are waw, alif and ya. Waw, alif and ya. And then we have dhamma, we have fatha, and we have kasra. Short vowels, long vowels. When we want to elongate an alphabet, a letter, we add one of these on the last word on the last alphabet of the word before it. For example, if I want to say this is for example aha, and if I want to say aha, I will add alif to it, aha. Similarly, these doesn't really mean anything. Let's say ana, and then we add alif, that becomes ana, although usually when it is used as I, it is actually pronounced ana rather than ana. So we add a long vowel along with that. These are the five asma, because they are normally used like this: abun, akhun, abun, akhun. We are quite familiar with these. Dad, brother. Hamun is a kind of somebody from in-laws, male in-law. Faman is mouth, and zu gives the meaning of possession. So when they are used as mudaf in idafa construction as mudaf, then this is how they behave in rafa, nasab and jar. This is how they show their i'rab. So abun will be abu, aba, abi respectively, then akhu, akha, akhi, hamu, hama, hami, and then so on. Zu, za, zi as well. So for example, if I want to say I saw your brother in the mosque, so I will write or say ra'aytu akhaka fil masjidi. So this is where we have not studied fail in greater detail. But anyway, ra'aytu means I saw. I saw what? I saw your brother. So whatever we are seeing is object. Okay, so object, we know object which is maf'ul is always in nasab. So we have to use this construction, not this construction, not that. So akhaka basically is, if we follow the usual rules of akhun, so that will be actually akhun plus ka. That will be akhun ka. That's what it is. But because here this is mudaf of this mudaf ilayh, and when it is akhun is going to be as mudaf, it will have to take one of these forms, and in nasab it will be akhaka. So ra'aytu, I saw, akhaka, your brother, fil masjidi, in the mosque. We are familiar with this construction anyway. This is prepositional phrase, jar, harf jar, and we have got ism majroor there. We can analyze this a little bit. For example, we say this is fail, and there is a file in it in the form of I. We will know that when we started working on verb, but just for now there is fail and file in here, and this we have mudaf and plus mudaf ilayh. So mudaf and mudaf ilayh combine to become maf'ul for this file and for this verb, maf'ul, and this is jar, and this is this harf jar, and this is ism majroor, and they become murakkab jari together. And this murakkab jari is in this kind of sentences called muta'alliq fail. It is related to, linked to fail, متعلق fail. So fail with its file, with its maf'ul and muta'alliq combines to make what we call jumla failure. Got this, we've got this, we've got this here, and we've got this here. So that's jumla failure khabariya. So that's basically jumla failure. So a little bit of introduction to jumla failure that also kind of briefly takes us to the topic of types of sentences, types of jumla in Arabic. In Arabic there are two types of jumla. No other language has got two types of jumla except maybe some old languages. In English all the sentences are verbal sentences, jumla failure, whether they are true verb or they are auxiliary verb like is, am or are. But in Arabic is unique that it has got jumla ismiya, and we can make a jumla without ever using a fail. So jumla, which is a sentence, is of two types. Jumla, sentence. It's jumla ismiya and jumla failure. Nominal sentence, verbal sentence. Nominal sentence will have at least two components, mubtada plus khabar. And jumla failure have again at least two components, fail plus file. There could be maf'ul, there could be muta'alliq fail. Here there could be muta'alliq khabar, for example. But the basic components are mubtada and khabar here and fail plus file here. So any sentence, any jumla which starts with an ism will be jumla ismiya. That which starts with fail will be jumla failure. So mubtada, we know that means the beginning. So when an ism comes at the beginning, and that's called mubtada. Let us move on to this word hamun. Wipe this off. It's male-in-law. Kind of a male-in-law, like father-in-law. Father-in-law, male-in-law. Famun means, we have said, mouth, and zu here it has to do with possession. We will talk a little bit about it in a minute in a bit of detail. Before that, I want to say, for example, let's address this ism first. If I want to say he is Fatima's father-in-law, let's say Fatima's father-in-law. So how do I say that in Arabic? We know he is pronoun in Arabic, huwa, and when we start a sentence with a pronoun or a noun, that will be jumla ismiya. So huwa hamu, right? Huwa hamu Fatima, ta. So huwa is he, and there's no is mr here clearly, so this is our jumla ismiya starting with an ism, which is a pronoun in this case. Hamu Fatimatu is actually another this is phrase, So hamu, when we use this, because we have used hamu, not hama here, hamu is, let's say, mudaf here, mudaf, and Fatima is mudaf ilayh. Fatima is, by the way, again gairu munsarif, so it's not going to be hamu Fatimati, it's going to be hamu Fatimata. So this mudaf and mudaf ilayh combine to make murakkab idafi. Okay, so because we have said we have started sentence with an ism, so this is our mubtada, and this whole structure is going to be our khabar. Mubtada and khabar combined to make jumla ismiya khabariya. The point which I wanted to make was that we have used hamu here, not hama or hami, because we know this is mubtada and this is khabar, and in murakkab idafi, the i'rab of the murakkab is really shown on mudaf, not on mudaf ilayh, which is always going to be in state of jar. So we know the khabar is also always marfu. Mubtada is always marfu, khabar on its own right is marfu, and because this is khabar here, we have used hamu, not hama or hami. The next word, famun, in our 5 names, 5 asma, I think as you have already noticed, it means mouth. So you have already noticed that in idafa it loses its meme. This is unique in a way that it's famun, but that here we do not say famun or faman, etc. It just we lose meme here when it is used as mudaf. So from famun it becomes fu, wa comes here, meme isn't there. It's not like this famu, it's fu, then simply fa, and then simply fi. So fi is also harf jar, as we know. As we said, I saw your brother in the mosque, fil masjidi. So the context will tell us whether it's really related to mouth or it is actually a harf jar. So it's usually not difficult when we reading a paragraph, etc. We can easily make out what kind of fi is that. So let us classicize a little bit. There is an expression in Arabic, don't say bad things. Don't say bad things. Translation is Jannib Faka. Jannib Faka, your mouth. Jannib Faka Qawl as-Su'i. Qawl as-Su'i. What we are literally saying here, make your mouth to avoid the saying of bad. Make your mouth to avoid the saying of bad, which basically in English really we will say don't say bad things. Jannib is a fail. In its original form, it's from the root point of view, in its original form it means avoid. And when it is, this fail is not in its original form, it is a derived form of the verb, which we are going to learn when we started studying fail. But basically means when it goes from its original form, the default kind of form, let's say, to derived form, its meaning changes. In its original form, it means to avoid, and it is intransitive, but in derived form, when it goes to this state, which is kind of form 2 from the English point of view, form 2 verb, then it means to kind of making something or someone avoid something. so it becomes transitive from intransitive. So Jannib, do not say, or do not let your mouth make your mouth avoid bad things. Okay, so that's literally what it means. So here it has been used as faka, not famaka. So meme, we lose meme. We don't have meme there. Another point which we need to focus on or note is that the first person singular pronoun ending, which is ya, because it's attached pronoun, when this attached ya is attached to the end of a word, so to say, it swallows these long vowels. For example, if I say, it will become clear with this example what I mean. If I want to say, my brother likes ice cream, my brother likes ice cream. I will translate my brother akhi. Akhi yuhibbul yeah, that's fine. Yuhib, basically yuhib al-buza. Yuhibbul, kind of. Buzata, ice cream. Kind of loves ice cream, likes ice cream. So the point here is about this my brother, akhi. In this sentence again, if we analyze this is mudaf, and ya mutakallam is mudaf ilayh, and this combined, because we are starting with noun again, so that will be our mubtada, and this whole jumla, which is actually jumla failure, becomes our khabar. We already know that in the slot of khabar we can place any phrase. Okay, and now we know that in the slot of phrase we can also place a sentence. In this case, this is jumla failure. Sometimes khabar is made of jumla ismiya as well. So this is our khabar, and because this is our mubtada, and if we follow the rules, that's the point which I want to make. If we follow the rules, we will be saying here, let's take that off, wipe that off. If we follow the rule, then this is my brother, that it will be akhu and ya. It will be kind of, we have to add ya here. So akhu, this is akhu ya, which will kind of become akhui. Okay, but this ya mutakallam, when it comes here as mudaf ilayh, it swallows this waw, and when it does that, then we know that ya mutakallam demands kasra before it, and ism always fulfills that demand. Harf sometimes does and fi'l never does. Okay, so this is actually going to be a hui kind of thing, and this ui kind of sounds, the other way of saying that is, or thinking that is, that in Arabic ui kind of sounds, generally Arabic language does not like the vowel combination of ui and u, neither of which sounds particularly pleasant anyway. Ui kind of sounds like you bumped the corner of a counter with your solar plexus, for example, and you kind of sounds like you stepped on something cold and wet. So they are unpleasant vowel combinations. They are not as easy on ears and not kind of easy on the tongue either. So a hui is not going to happen in Arabic. It will become a he, and this yaw is gonna swallow this waw. The final word in our these 5 asma is zu. Zu is unique in a couple of ways. Zu is a word which we are only going to see in idafa construct. That's one thing. It kind of means having or possessing, and it serves a function similar to other words that we know to express possession, like inda and li. I think we haven't talked about that in detail in the past. If I say I have a pen, I will say indi, which is basically in the I possess. So with ya mutakallam it becomes indi. We know that indi kalaman, I have a pen. If we want to say I have a brother, I will say li akhun. Li, ya mutakallam again, that lam is li. So in the and li are also used for possession. Li akhun. Here it's gonna akhun, not akhu, akhar, or akhi. Akhun is used in this form as well. Li akhun, here it is a khabar. Mudaf mudaf mubtada, and this khabar, I have a brother. So we will go into details of that at some other point. Zu is used similarly to express possession. Zu is typically reserved for physical attributes like having blonde hair or blue eyes, for example, or abstract qualities. Someone who has a lot of administrative experience or have great knowledge, something like that. So that could be an abstract quality. So if we want to say, do you know the man with black hair? The man with black hair. Basically what we say in English is really, do you know the man who has black hair? So we will say hal tarifu this is fail. This means do you, question, particle of question. We haven't talked about that either. So hal tarifu, do you know the man? Ar-rajula. So do you know the man who possesses za? Ash-sha'r, hair. Become ash-sha'ri here because of za. Al-aswadi, black. So do you know the man with black hair or who possesses black hair? Zu is among these Asma al-Khamsa unique in that it also changes depending on the number and gender of what it's describing. So these do not normally will have muzakkar muannas or wahid tasniya jama, but this za has when it's used in sentences it has got muzakkar muannas, and it also has its forms of wahid tasniya and jama as well. I'm going to go into that. You do not particularly have to focus this next part religiously this point in time, because this is a kind of advanced level, but it is recorded here, and then you can always come back and revisit, and later on perhaps it will make much more sense. As far as this sentence is concerned, it really is do you know the man? We're talking about the man, ar-rajula, and the man is with black hair. So za is used for possession, and it is mudaf, and this is mudaf ilayh, that's why it is in jar, and aswadi is sifa of that, and that's why it's also in jar. So this is basically mawsuf and sifa combined to become murakkab tawsifi, which becomes mudaf ilayh for this za. Let's kind of move on to the next topic, which is a little bit advanced, I must say. I'm going to bring this here. So we have zu, showing possession, ownership of a kind, which could be a physical quality or it could be an abstract concept. So looking at here, we have zu, za, zi in wahid, singular, and that is actually muzakkar, which we used here. Muzakkar. Its muannas form will be zatu, zata, zati. That's what we use. Okay. And when we come to tasniya, again it has muzakkar and muannas. This is zawa, zawai, zawai. We know that when we make tasniya, the sound is kana, ana, and aina. And because this comes as mudaf, and we know mudaf noon drops, making the i'rab light, or this called noon i'rabi. So we have talked about that. So this basically is kind of like kitabun, kitabani, kitabaini. It will be zawani, zawaini, zawaini, but noon drops, it becomes zawa, zawai, zawai. So sound of ani and aini is going to be there, but because this is mudaf, noon drops, so it becomes dawa, zawai, zawai. Similarly, zawata, it becomes, and from muannas it's going to be zavatani, but it's zavata, zavatai, zavatai, rather than zavatani, zavataini, zavataini. And let's leave this for a minute. Then it's zavu, which is zavuna, and zuvina it's supposed to be, but it's noon drops, zavu, zavi, zavi, and zawatu, zawati, zawati. This works like muannas, jama muannas salim, like we say muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. So it's zawatu, or we say al muslimatu, al muslimati, al muslimati, zawatu, zawati, zawati. That's why in nasab and jar it's kasra both here, but not here. This doesn't behave because it's not plural anyway. This muannas but not plural, so it's going to show its nasab with fatha, not like this in jar. So that's important point to note. So it'll be zatu, zata, zati. For example, we say before I go to the example, just highlight this as well, that in Quran these are the other tasniya for that is without waw. Zata, zati, zata, zatai, zatai. So waw goes, and this is the way it has been used in Quran. Similarly, this muzakkar plural, the use in Quran is, we are I think all familiar, ulul albabi. So rather than zahu, it's ulu. This wo is not pronounced. So we don't say ulu, ulu, uli, uli. And then zawatu becomes like from here, ulatu, ulati, ulati, not ulati. We don't pronounce wo here either. Ulatu, ulati, ulati. So these has two jama, muzakkar and muannas and two tasniyas. And these are the ones which has been preferred in Quran. Let us look at some examples. Can put that a little bit on the side here, I hope. Let's bring out here and wipe this off. We say zu malin. Wipe that off as well. Zu malin. Mal means wealth. So zu malin will be kind of used as the translation as rich or wealthy. Zu malin, rich or wealthy. That will be man. And if a woman is rich, we will zatu malin. So that's the difference. Zatu malin. So rich man, excuse me, and rich woman. We can say Zaidu, Zaidun actually, it's Mansib. Zaidun zu malin. Zaid is a rich man. We can say here Maryamu Zatu malin. Maryam is a rich woman. So they have got muzakkar and muannas as far as the zu is concerned, which doesn't apply to the other five. And because they're always used as mudaf, and their mudaf ilay is kind of always ism zahir. Okay, so their mudaf ilay is not going to be a zamir. It's not going to be something like zati, doesn't mean anything. It's not going to be zamir of ya, for example, or zatuhu. So these are wrong. So they do not take zamir as their mudaf ilay. Mudaf ilay is always ism zahir like this, visible ism rather than damir. And the other point is that their ism zahir is not nouns like ism alam, for example. We can't say zu zaidin, for example. Doesn't mean anything. So this is not the kind of ism zahir which they have. Or zu Maryam ma, zatu Maryama will not be anything either. So they have got ism zahir, but not particularly ism alam. That doesn't work like that in this scenario. Let us look at an example here, another one. We say Ja'a rajulun zu malin. Ja'a rajulun zu, okay, zu malin. Ja'a came, rajulin, a man came, zu malin, what kind of man? Wealthy man, rich man. So here this kind of zu becomes a sifa of that noun here. We will know at some other point. I'm going to discuss why after an indefinite noun something comes like a phrase or a sentence, why they become sifa of that noun. They usually become sifa of that noun. So zu is kind of sifa here. Rajulun zu malin. So rather than saying zu is sifa here, we can say actually that zu is mudaf and malin is mudaf ilayh, and they combine to make murakkab idafi. And in this scenario, then this is fail, but this is our it is file, but in this construction this is mawsuf, and this murakkab becomes is a sifa. So that's the sifa of rajulun. What kind of man? A rich man, a wealthy man. So da are rajulun zu malin. And because rajulun, this is rajulun's sifa, in Arab it has to go with mawsuf, we know that. And this is marfu, and that is also marfu, zu malin, not za malin or zi malin, zu malin here. But if I say ra'aytu, I saw a rich man, so I will say ra'aytu ra'aytu. What I'm seeing the man. So man is maf'ul here, object. So that will be rajulan. I saw a man, rajulan. What kind of man? Rich man. So that will become no za malin, because this is mansub and sifa has to be mansub as well. So za malin, not zu malin. Ra'aytu rajulan zu malin. And if I say I passed by a rich man, I will say marartu. You can still see that here. Yeah. Marartu. With marartu, this kind of fi'l we use preposition of ba. Bil rajulin, because of ba, rajulin. Marartu, sorry, rajulin. Bi rajulin. So man is majroor here, it will become zi malin, not za or zu malin, zi malin. So that's how they change when they are sifa of a mawsuf. So they will have to match in Arab, they will have to tally kind of in Arab. Now we focus a little bit on word zatu. It is actually unique in that it has other meanings in some of its other uses rather than just a possession. When used in combination with some other word, it gives totally different meaning. For example, in Arabic we say zatu shafatin. Zatu shafatin. We know shafatin means lips. Possessor of lips kind of thing, which that is kind of literal translation, but this whole construction means word, as in a single word. Okay, so word comes from lips, etc. So zatu shafatin means word. This full construction gives the meaning of the word. So here it's not give the meaning of, little meaning is possession, but that's not what exactly it is. I think I'll have to remove that. For example, if I want to say I did not speak to him, I did not speak to him. Okay, so I'm going to translate that as ma kallamtuhu. Ma means I didn't. It's a particle of no. Ma, we haven't worked on that either. It comes in Jumla Ismiya. So ma, and in Jumla Fi'liya as well. So ma kallamtu, it does do quite often negation of Jumla Ismiya. Ma kallamtu Shadher ma kallamtuhu, I did not speak to him. Zata shafatin, I did not speak to him a word. Basically what we are saying is I did not say a single word to him. So I did not speak to him at all. That kind of meaning. Another use of zata, let's have a look. It's zatul batani, which basically means child. Batan means abdomen, literally abdomen, but the whole construction means child. We say in Arabic wada'at al-imra'atu, still see that, wada'atil mar'atu, woman, wada'atil mar'atu zata batniha, zata, that's the zamir, batniha, which basically is zata batnu, zatul batnu, and because of zamir ha, the al has gone. We know the rules. This is meme, mar'atu, woman. So this really means the woman gave birth to a child. Let's see that here. So that whole construction gives that meaning. So zata is not particularly used here for possession. It's kind of zatul batani, child. Similarly, there is another meaning of that, and we can address at least one Quranic ayah here. We say Zatus Sadri. Zatus Sadri. Zatus Sadri means, Sadr means chest. Its single is Sadrun, plural is Sudurun. Sadrun and plural is Sudurun, chest. But when we say Zatus Sadri, that's kind of gives an indication of the state of the heart, what's in the heart. And if we look at this ayah, it will make sense. Ayah of Surah Hadid, ayah number 6 of Surah Hadid. Kind of running out ink. The ayah is Wahuwa, Wahuwa Alimum Bizatis Suduri. Here we have our words sadrun, and plural is sudurun. Wahwa alimum bizati suduri. Wahwa alimun bizati suduri. From sudurun. As-suduri, as-suduru, as-suduri. That's ayah number 6, Surah Hadid, 57, 6. So Surah 57, Surah Hadid. So wahwa alimum bizatis suduri. Zatun, Zatu Sadri, basically it is, isn't it? Zatu Sadri. That's our construction, which gives the meaning of the state of the heart, whatever is in someone's heart or mind, etc., etc. So translation of this ayah, one of the translations, and he has the knowledge of the innermost secrets of your heart. So he has the knowledge of the innermost secrets of your heart. So this is giving us the state of your heart, whatever is in your mind and your heart, whatever the word which you want to use. There's another point which is again a little bit advanced, and we have not really covered that topic, but it's here for later reference. If after words zat we have ism zarf, which means adverb. Adverb could be adverb of time and adverb of place. Those who know Urdu and Urdu grammar, we say ism zaman and ism makan. So that's zarf, which is adverb. Or any ism which gives the meaning of adverb. For example, we say zata yawmin. Zata yawmin. So yawm is adverb of kind of time. So zata yawmin means basically one day. So this whole construction means one day. Different uses of this word zata is quite interesting. I find that's quite interesting. We can say, for example, I met him one day. Laqitohu. This is verb. We haven't done verbs yet. Laqitohu zata yawmin. I met him one day. Zata yawmin. Similarly, we read this word quite often in Quran, shimal and yameen. Ash-shimal al-yameen. Shimal, left, yameen, right. Wakuntum azwajan salasa, and you will become three groups according to this surah Waqia, this ayah there. And then they talk about ashabul shimal, ashabul yameen, and sabiqun in that first ruku of that surah. So we say zat shimali, zat shimali. When an ism is used as a adverb, zarf zaman or zarf makan, they're always written in nasab. So that's the rule here. That's why we didn't say zatu shimali, it's zata shimali. And shimal means, we know, left kind of side, left side, shimal. Okay. And Zat al Yamini, this is a harf Shamsiya, and Zat al Yamini, Yamin is moon word, so I will be pronouncing the lam here, Zat al Yamini. Zat al Yamini, right side, that's left side, this is right side. For example, I say I sat on the left side, so I will translate that as Jalastu, that's a fail. Jalastu Zat al-Shimali. Shimali. So I sat on the left side. And one final use in our today's discussion of Zat is we say Zata Marratin. Zata Marratin. Which basically means once. When we have to say once, we say Zata Marratin. I met him only once, so we'll say Zata Marratin. That becomes quite a lot, but I think the later half the later part of it, you do not really have to literally focus on this at this particular point in time, but it will become very relevant later on when we have covered other topics of grammar. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.